Hi, everyone. Welcome to Boston New Technologies FinTech and Blockchain Startup Showcase BNT 115. I'm Chris Rakenna, lead organizer for Boston New Technology. I hope everyone is doing well. BNT is a volunteer-run startup technology and business network whose mission is to help local businesses launch and grow, especially startups. And we host about 3 free and not-for-profit events each month. And our events are geared towards connecting the community around educational and inspiring programs, just like today's. And it's always free for local founders to present at our startup showcases. So please do sign up if you are a local founder. And today we have 3 simple requests of you. First, if you could please share this webcast post, and then if you could share your comments and questions for speakers on this webcast post. In Facebook, you may need to give us permission for us to see your comments and questions, but that's how we will take the questions for the presenters. And finally, please share any learnings and screenshots on social media so that we can help offer publicity and buzz for these local startups and organizations. And Boston New Tech will retweet you. Use the BNT115 hashtag. Now I would like to introduce BNT's resident speaking coach, Chuck Goldstone. Hey, Chuck.
And
how you
doing? Thought I would announce here to this group. As you know, I work with a number of the presenters here as I work with people across town and across the globe. I wanted to announce here something that we've now reopened, and our full-day workshop. Because of COVID, we're not meeting obviously in person anymore. So I wanted to announce to people that we have actually created a better program that COVID has forced us into, and that is doing our comprehensive masterclass in strategy and story. As 4 sessions, as you'll see them here on strategy story, creating support materials, but it includes an hour of one-on-one consulting and then an in-depth pitch lab. Now, I've deep discounted it for BNT members, and I'll show you in a moment how to get to that if you're interested. The other option is a program we're going to run on the 28th, which is a 2-hour high-level overview of some of the practices. Some of you may not have time or budget at this point to do the full program can do a $99 program, which will actually cost you less than that if you end up using this code BNT15. If you go to my website, there's much more information on it there. And also keep in mind, if you do the short workshop and then decide that you wanted to do the full program, will apply everything you paid on the short workshop for that. Any information and also about what I do and how I can help you in terms of other ways, go to thechuckgoldstone.com and either sign up for the Core Story Masterclass or the round table. So we'll I hope see you there. It's been a game changer for lots and lots of companies. Remember, the code is BNT 15. So anyway, good to see everyone. I'm looking forward to the presentations that you're going to be doing today. And back to you, Chris.
Super. Thanks, Chuck. And I would also just like to thank our co-organizer, Tom Maloney, who couldn't be here today, but we appreciate all's help over the last several years, as well as yourself, Chuck. Thank you so much. And now just to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a DevOps advisor at Kybura. It's a Boston startup that helps other startups automate their software delivery, optimize their cloud services, and improve security. So if you need any advice or help with your DevOps or just want to reduce your overall IT expenses, please do contact me. Now, before we start, I'd also like to recognize all of our partners who were able to share this event with their subscribers. If you give me a second here. Here you should be able to see most of our top partners here. We have reached over 100,000 subscribers through our network and these other organizations. So we thank all of them. And We look forward to all of their events as well, which we feature on BNT's website. You can go to our events page at bostonnewtechnology.com and learn about all of their upcoming events. And as far as this particular event, each of our founders will have about 12 minutes to present and take your questions. And let's start the first presenter. Give me just 1 second to transition here. All right, please welcome Block Relations.
Hey, excellent.
Hey, Steve and Ken, please take it away.
All right, Ken, want to start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say thank you, Chris, and thank you to everyone who's organized this event here. We're very pleased to be here participating, showcasing Block Relations at BNT. And we did have a presentation we wanted to share with you guys. So, Chris, I'm just going to ask here. So I hit the share screen button, and I'm able to share the presentation, correct? Okay, I'm just going to...
Yes.
Yes, okay. One moment. Steve, if you want to just give a brief description of Block Relations, and I will get the screen shared.
Absolutely. So right off the top, I was mentioning to Chris offline that when Ken and I first met, it was the result of Boston New Technology. So we are very glad to be here, very glad to be presenting. So Block Relations is a full-service PR, marketing, communications, and strategy agency. We offer a number of different suites of service, and we are here essentially as storytellers, bridge builders. We recognize the power and the potential of blockchain technology, but we also recognize that, it needs to be explained. People need to understand exactly what blockchain is and how it could potentially help them, their businesses. And how are we doing on the presentation, Ken? Are we all ready to deploy it?
Yes, presentation is up. I'm going to start it now. So
excellent.
We do want to highlight that there are use cases within blockchain that are very close, if not already being implemented within industry and enterprise and government. We've been working closely with Academic Technology, Advanced Technology Academic Research Center, ATARC. We are the chairs of the Blockchain Project Committee under the Security Working Group for ATARC, and we are looking to identify which use cases are most likely to be used for governments, and we wanted to basically pick out examples of technology that may already exist within these fields. So we are sharing with you guys here, first time publicly, some of the work we have put together for the ATARC working group. And so we wanted to focus in, there are many use cases, but we wanted to focus in on these 4 use cases. So that being cloud infrastructure, voting, healthcare in terms related to COVID-19, and encrypted messaging and video. So we did identify there is a company here in Boston, most of you are probably familiar with, and they may have even presented here at BNT before, Saya.tech, which provides decentralized cloud storage platform for the post-cloud world. Essentially what they do is they allow users to upload files. These files then become broken up into many parts. From there, they are encrypted, and the hashes are stored within computers, servers all over the world that have signed up for this program. And the currency used to incentivize the storage is the Saya coin. So there's no signups. Its servers are third parties. So very interesting stuff what they're doing. We are also introducing these use cases to counterparts in ATARC that are within the government, and they are able to, as we work through hosting events with them, they're able to give us feedback and find out what areas are most likely able to be required for government. So for instance, this solution may not fit for the government need, where they can't have classified information being stored on a computer in a different country, for instance. So we may explore options of creating a private blockchain infrastructure for the government themselves, different sectors, so they could maybe model something similar to what Saya.tech has introduced. But again, it's that feedback loop that we are doing and kind of vetting out with these representatives to find out which aspects can be transitioned into their need to fit their needs. Secondly, this is a very hot topic right now, voting, right? How are we going to vote if we're not allowed to go to the polls? Well, very simple solution to that. We can do electronic voting. However, we need to ensure that people are who they say they are. So authentication. And the way we can do this is through digital identity. So we've identified with a company here, Electus. They are out of Switzerland, and they've been working with various academic entities to establish test trials to see if some sort of blockchain-based electronic voting app can work. So you're looking at digital identities, right? So how are we ensuring the person is who they are, and how are we ensuring that their vote can't be counted twice? Well, we can do biometric identification. Each cell phone has the ability to scan your fingerprint, and some of them actually have the ability to do facial recognition. So we could combine those two methods, create a digital identity token, and trace that token within a voting app to ensure that the vote only gets counted once. So that's something we're currently working on, and we're receiving feedback from our counterparts as well. And something that's definitely relevant here, COVID-19 and healthcare. So another member of our company, Block Relations, Brian Hoff, has actually worked on this project, Corona Tracker. They monitor, notify, educate securely, and they have this daily log for COVID-19 symptoms to basically alert you whether or not you might have symptoms of COVID-19. And this data is encrypted because, we don't want this data being hacked, right? Someone could use this against you if they found out that you may have health conditions relating to COVID-19. So we want to make sure that this information is protected, and doing so with a blockchain-based database. So is that something where we could roll this out nationally or even locally? And last example here we're touching on is encrypted messages and encrypted video. So an example of why this came about would be we've identified, doing some research, that ISIS has actually been kicked off of Telegram and WhatsApp for messaging propaganda, right? It was easily identified. Those are central controlled messaging apps. So the way they've gotten around using those centrally controlled messaging apps is they're actually starting to use these decentralized encrypted messaging apps that have no backdoors for being monitored from like an FBI or CIA agency. So an example is Because Communication Matters, BCM, is the tool that we've identified that there has been reports of nefarious use within the messaging groups. But there is a solution to this. We can track, some of these messaging apps actually have cryptocurrency wallets associated with them. So there are actually different monitoring tools that can be attached to these wallet addresses to track cryptocurrency movements. And then from there can be different methods and monitoring tools to identify if this transfer of current cryptocurrency is related to, say, a terrorist organization. However, there are good use cases for encrypted messaging as well. An example of this is for use within the government themselves. If the agencies want to keep their messages secure and non-hackable from, say, like a different government, for instance, there would be a solution to be explored here. So with that is basically the work we have done with ATARC, and those are the 4 use cases that we've identified. And we are in the process of bringing in other experts and industry representatives from the blockchain side as well to have them present the solutions that they may have already built or they could be building. And our deliverable is to actually create a white paper at the end of this year, before the end of this year, that details a solution. And we hope to receive funding and actually execute on the technology solution that we come to, using the collaborative efforts of not only our team, industry experts, but also feedback from the government entities and individuals that are participating as well. So with that, I think we gave a little bit of a background on Block Relations. We gave a little bit of background on what we're doing with ATARC and some use cases of blockchain outside of just the hype and the DeFi that's happening right now. There's actually some real world use cases that are being explored. And I did just want to finish on one note. So Block Relations, we have 4 key pillars of service we offer. So we do media and branding, we do full stack marketing, we do public relations, and we do technology innovation. So we do have many subcategories of service under those 4 pillars. And we would love to take some questions from the audience right now if you guys have any.
Hey guys, thank you. Great presentation. And I think there's a bit of a delay, so there may be a little wait for some questions, but I'd like to ask you one thing. So I know a little bit about your syndicate because I'm part of it now, but why don't you guys tell us about the syndicate you've put together and your plans for that?
Fantastic. Go right ahead, Ken.
Absolutely. So a big part of our strategy at Block Relations is creating a syndicate network of partners that are able to help facilitate different aspects of service that we may not be able to facilitate ourselves within our core team members. So an example might be a great partnership that we signed last week with Techno Impact out of Australia/India. So they're acting as our developer leg. So if a project comes to us and wants, say, some wireframing, some prototyping, and then some eventual development, we'd be able to refer them to our syndicate partner, Techno Impact, and then they would be able to execute at a formal already made with them for a discount of deal flow for our clients. So there's actually a benefit of going with us to make this introduction instead of going directly to the members of our syndicate network. And as outside of just technical development, there's also content distribution, which is a big part of PR, right? So, and that's where BNT comes in as well with Chris. So as you see us here today, we are distributing our own branding, our own content through this channel of BNT. And that's a main reason we want to collect a lot of content distribution channels under that syndicate network umbrella so that we're able to help push our client messaging out to a wider audience. And we're definitely collaborative with this. So if anyone wants to join our syndicate network, definitely reach out to us. There's actually a form on blockrelations.com under the syndicate network header that you guys can fill out and we can start the process there. So we love bringing in new members. There's a bunch of different subcategories, content distribution, developers. You'll see a whole list and different buckets outlaid on the website if you guys check that out.
Okay, awesome. Well, as we wait to see if more questions come in, what can you guys tell us about cryptocurrency and investing? And I know a lot of people are interested in it and probably don't know too much about it.
Yeah, that's a great point. So we actually very recently, just yesterday, had a course launch on our EDU product on our website. So again, one of the headers is educational courses if you go to blockrelations.com. And one of our collaborators, Martel, just posted a course, an intro to investing in cryptocurrency for beginners. So it's actually a 30-minute video course paired with some questions, some assessments, and you can actually download the slides from this course as well. So I highly recommend anyone interested in learning some basics of investing in cryptocurrency to take that course, complete it, and then tell us how you liked it and tell us if the items you learned were actually actionable, because I believe they are. And it's exciting that we were able to collaborate with someone who's in a position of learning themselves. They documented the process of what they learned and they put that into an educational course. So that's what we're all about. When we first started, we ourselves were learning a lot. It's a continuous process of learning. And the more we can put that into an actionable item like an EDU course, the more we can relay the information we learned to our audience. So we definitely see education as another key pillar of our service offerings. And I would just say, if you want to start investing, a great way to start is create a Coinbase account and start playing around with the KYC features they have. So you're going to run into a lot of KYC features where people get discouraged at first. You might have to upload a passport. You might have to upload your driver's license, maybe even a picture of yourself smiling with a little note that says today's date and the website you're registering for it. But don't let that discourage you, because anything worthwhile is going to have a little bit of effort needed to be put in it to be able to access it. So think of it that way. So I'll direct people to Coinbase if they want to start investing in cryptocurrency. But again, we do not offer any kind of investment advice. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
How can I accept crypto on my site is a question in the chat from Aristotle Anderson. So that's a very good question. So I'd say, first off, which website are you using? If you're using WordPress, there's a lot of great integration tools for WooCommerce that actually allow you to set up your shop as you normally would. And you're actually able to add different payment methods for the different cryptocurrencies you want to accept. And WooCommerce is actually quite expansive. They have a large list of different crypto assets that you're able to accept on your website. And again, I don't want to provide any tax advice or any legal advice. But if you're accepting cryptocurrency as a business, some practice say that you want to convert that to USD at time of sale and then represent the USD value as your income, as your revenue. But there's also a bunch of different WordPress plugins outside of WooCommerce as well that allow you to take this. I believe Tezos, which we work with closely, also just released a plugin. Pezos, I want to say, is what it was titled. And you can look further into that as well. If you don't have a WordPress site and you're building a custom site, Coinbase Custody or Coinbase Consumer or Coinbase Pro, I believe it is, has some other features for the merchant to use to accept as well. And if you want to just create your own wallet, a lot of wallets will generate QR codes, and you can just throw that QR code on your site. It's linked to your personal wallet it's very easy for someone to just scan that and send you whatever the kind of cryptocurrency wallet is associated with that QR code, that crypto asset, and then you can accept it right into your personal wallet like that. So it's very peer-to-peer as well if you don't want to use a more sophisticated plugin. Chris, I think you're on mute there. I didn't hear it.
So sorry, guys. We're running out of time. So if you have any just final comments, let's wrap up.
What do you say, Steve? Yep.
Let's just keep connecting the dots. That's what I would say. Literally, let's keep, continuing to build, protect, and enhance with our partners, with our friends here. The future is very bright for both blockchain and our community as a whole.
Right.
Awesome.
And we are very open to business, and we accept all sorts of open invitations. You can reach out to us again through our website or our Calendly, and we can schedule a call with us. We'd be happy to talk to you guys.
Perfect. Well, thanks again, Steve and Ken, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks. All right, give us just a second here to transition to our next presenter. And Manrique, I need you to share your slides so we're ready. Oh, there we go. So please welcome Hound Software.
Well, nice. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Great. Please take it away.
Okay, perfect. Well, my name is Manrique Feoli. I'm the founder of Hound Software. We're based out of Boston, Massachusetts. But basically, before entering into any specific of our system, let me tell you where we basically come from. Where were we before here? So basically, in my previous venture, I was the technical co-founder for a communication software. So we built a really good communication software that basically could handle thousands of communications at the same time. It was really efficient, really good. We actually had really interesting cases of interesting people using our software, like for national elections, for banks, and everyone was using the system just to try to get people connected to them, to talk to users. But after a while, we realized that there was a pretty big problem, and it was basically that businesses weren't really solving their problems. So the main problem was not the communication part, but they were still providing a pretty poor customer experience. So what were the reasons for that, basically? So it mainly was a jungle of systems and people that were inside the system. So the businesses had broken processes inside. There were too many older systems, again, with newer systems that would not talk to each other, mainly, along with a lot of manual processes. So what's the real problem with that? So the main problem is basically risk and expenses, as you would say. So poor performance, costly operations, errors, and all kind of risk, would generate lost customers. So what was really missing from here? So the main problem, we came to realize that the main problem was that there was a lack of connecting the dots between systems and users and customers. So there was a lack of a real-time execution process. So we created Hound then. So what's Hound? If you ask me, there are two ways of saying what really we are. So one way is to say we're the Excel of connecting the dots between processes, systems, and people. So it's a general usage platform that you can connect things and make them work in a really concise way. Another way of saying it is a platform that allows you to automate complex processes without writing a single line of code. So you can safely and securely create a process all the way from the ground up just to solve a specific situation. So what is it really good for? So it is really good for sensitive data and disparate systems. So people that has those situations where you have things that have to manage and many different systems that are having that kind of information, that's really good. So that's one of the use cases, interesting use cases that we have. So it is also very good to be used in real time. In any dynamic environment, it will be able just to answer, react in almost or near real time just to any kind of event. But also can connect to many systems. So it uses the most modern APIs to connect to systems. So you can also connect from a newer API, but also connect to the legacy system, AES-400, things like those. So it provides a huge amount of connectivity possibilities just to try to use older systems like newer systems and integrate them both. So that's another type of use case, integrate older and newer systems and provide a complete experience to the outside. So it is one of the interesting things is that it is really easy to configure. So you can drag and drop things along a workflow, and it is very similar to other kind of tools in this regard, but with the addition of the real-time interaction and the interaction with users. So when you interact with a user, the users basically use a really simple interface where you can connect and respond to the system, whatever you're required to do. So as opposed to other systems, basically that just automate the specific parts and there are no users involved, in this one, the users are requested whenever they're needed, basically. Another really interesting thing that we have basically in here is that basically it's AI powered. So every single execution gets recorded, all information gets recorded, it gets logged onto a non-SQL system, and then we can learn from that, and that can lead us to predict the future situations. So whenever one specific case has been happening many times, and you have automated processes, but you also have persons that make decisions, so we can learn what was the environment in that specific moment, what was the decision that person made, so that we can predict it in the future. So the other really great thing we have is that we're connecting with users on where they really are in social networks, basically. So you can connect in older traditional channels, newer channels, different ways, from phone to text messaging to all the way to the newer social networking and instant messaging system. So tell you a little bit about where are we applying this. So who are our customers, basically? So we'll give you a few examples, different ways. Being a platform, you may guess that we have different types of examples, and in most of them have been around the fintech space, but some of them are beginning to be not so fintech. So give you a first example, delinquency reduction. So companies that basically they can't afford to have costs and risks basically related to delinquent accounts. So that's one of the specific use cases that we have been solving. So the system basically reduces completely the situation. Another one we have basically is fraud resolution. So whenever a possible fraud is happening, you can enact Hound just to execute a real-time process to try to either predict or stop a possible fraud in real time. So it would do it much faster and much cheaper than the alternative way of doing it, which usually is manual. So who could also be our customers? This is kind of an advertisement, but financial institutions, for instance, that would like to underwrite a commercial loan 10 times faster. So we're looking for a partner just to try to test our system in that specific space. Another example, what we have basically is more recent, is how if we are doing real-time management of systems, so why don't we manage the waiting process of somebody requesting a service. So we started doing that and came up with a specific solution called Cubo, which is powered completely by Hound, which basically what it does, it manages the process when you request a service from someone, let's say a restaurant, for instance, where you can convert every phone into a buzzer, basically, or you can wait wherever you want, or you can order ahead, or you can pay for the process. So the system interacts with the person and allows you to do all of those kind of things. There are other specific use cases like risk and compliance, so we have a customer in that.
Manrique, sorry, we need you to ask you to wrap up so we can take a couple of questions.
We have a couple more, and that will be it. So basically, the two benefits that we could say is that we can create and maintain solutions at a fraction of the cost. So as a custom-built solution, and every single system will be leveraged by the same backend. So this is my last one. So that we're really looking for is a strategic partner to refine a powerful use case in a large vertical. So if you have an interesting case of disparate problems, just call us. And I would love to have a few questions from you now. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Manrique. So why don't I kick things off? So you referred to fraud resolution at banks. How does Hound solve this?
Well, basically, and then what we were doing, we were standing behind the fraud detection software. So once a possible fraud would be detected, we execute a process of connecting to all of different, to go to the core banking, go to Salesforce, go to the user, and then to the customer, and ask and connect them all through a process. So ask the customer, hey, are you doing this transaction? Is this you? And if the person says no, go to the core banking and then block the card, then go to Salesforce and request a new card, and then go to the commerce and then say, please, if the person is there, try to not to do this transaction. That's basically what we're doing in real time.
Oh, okay. I have another one, actually. So what is the difference between what Hound does and what the typical RPA process does?
Well, that's a really, really good question. But basically, RPA is more like task-oriented, so very specific. So we tend to see ourselves more like an intelligent process automation, IPA kind of system, which is kind of the newest wave of after RPA. So we connect with RPA. We do not replace RPA. We connect with RPA processes. We can orchestrate them. Basically, that's the main difference. And it's more across systems, across processes instead of just tasks.
Well, I'm not seeing more questions come, so let me just ask one more question. What are you guys doing to grow your business right now? What are your primary kind of marketing tactics?
So we've been bootstrapping all the way. So we have customers in those areas that I just mentioned. What we're really doing right now is trying to narrow down into a more specific space, and for that we're looking for a strategic partner that basically is an expert in one of those areas that want to go with us and then try to solve a problem that's in a very large space. So that's kind of it. So we've been bootstrapping. Once we get there, we most probably will go after, if required, after funding. So we are bootstrapping and breaking even most of the time. But once we get to a place where we really need to speed up, we'll probably go after funding.
Oh, okay. How soon do you think that might be?
We're looking forward it was supposed to be this year, but COVID kind of changed things. Mm-hmm. So it most probably would be in the next 10 to 12 months, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to ask the community before we wrap up?
No, probably I just asked. So we're looking for people that has really, really interesting problems and that would like to solve. I mean, if as complex as possible, we would love to get our team just to see if we can solve it. If we can solve it, we'll solve it probably at no cost or something like that. And then we would love to understand what really makes the problem important for that specific person.
Okay, Manrique. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and we wish you the best of luck with Hound Software.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay.
Give us just a moment to transition again. We can't hear you yet, Patrick, and I...
Oh, there we go.
I need...
Sorry about that. I was muted. Hi, Chris.
Oh, okay. Hi. Welcome. Yeah, please welcome Quattro Money.
Yeah, thanks very much. Pleasure to be here. Pat Candianis, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Quattro Money. Thanks for having us and the sponsors, and great to be with you all. We're going to do a deck and demo. So, Chris, I guess if you want me to jump right in, we'll go ahead and jump in. All right, are we seeing the deck?
Yep, we're good.
Yep. Okay.
Just maximize it if you
Sorry,
can.
Chris, you got me?
Maximize it if you can.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so we're Quattro Money, and we're helping banks and financial institutions become a go-to resource.
Wait, Patrick, start. Oh, for a second, I couldn't hear you too well, but it sounds better now.
Okay.
Start over.
It's all right, yeah. We're Quattro Money, and we're helping banks and financial institutions become a go-to resource for college financing and planning. What's the big problem? The big problem is that paying for college is a confusing, ominous process. This is a top-of-mind concern for a large majority of the population of parents across the U.S. This is something, no matter how old your child is, this thing is bothering you for many, many years, and there's many reasons for that. Not least of which is that the folks that people turn to for assistance in this, whether that's a financial institution or a guidance counselor or the software that helps families select the colleges that are their best fit, nothing in there is equipped to really help with college finance. And you can see on the survey of banks, many of these folks don't even have content that addresses the paying for college issue. And so we've built a solution that we believe fills the void. And this is a mock-up, obviously, of a bank partner. And what we're doing here is we're helping folks provide real information that is not just content, right? It's content, and it's a financing planner that we've built. We'll show that in a second. But also things like webinars and videos and answer providers, right? And at the core of what we offer is a FinTech platform that we've built. And so this is just a snapshot of our solution showing a family that searched for financing assistance for Boston College. And this allows them to actually see 4 years of college pricing, allows them to see how their own resources that they have, whether they're limited or not, can be applied across the board. And then what are the solutions? And most importantly, is this manageable? The bottom snapshot is showing a payment summary. Can the family afford this pathway? Is this college really, truly affordable? And soon we'll be talking a little bit more about the value of that decision. What are the benefits to a partner of ours? First, again, it's filling that void, right? But the fact of the matter is that by being a resource provider, by being a solution provider, you can create opportunities for the bank and solutions for the customer as well. The bank has the ability to highlight products that it may have in its product line already. Many folks tap into home equity. Many folks offer student banking and other products, maybe wealth management for early planners. And they may even offer a student loan solution, all of which can be worked into our platform. It's really customer retention as well. If you don't have the answer at your bank or your financial institution, They're going to the web and they're going to be gobbled up by someone like SoFi, someone who is addressing student finance and paying for college. And that may mean that they're out of your web for many, many years. And not least of which is the community. Giving back to the community, helping underserved populations realize that college is affordable is something that we believe banks will embrace and should embrace. And for the customer, we're talking about, just obvious things that were in the mock-up, but financial solutions, right? This is not an estimate. This is based around the individual's own personal financial sort of profile. And along the way, they have access to the knowledge center that we have. And really, this is a chance for the bank to connect with folks who are going through this process. The individuals are raising their hands saying, hey, I'm concerned about paying for college, and we can make that connection and handoff. Who are we? I think it's worth noting that this has come about, Quattro Money's come about because we believe that the solution is lacking out in the marketplace, and we are passionate about that. My co-founder Colleen is a financial aid expert, and we're going to show you a quick demo. Okay, thanks for coming to the ultra quick Quattro Money demo. First step is picking the year. We go out as far as 15 years in the future. Second is the school. We'll use Baylor today. We grab an email address and we start planning. We provide pricing to the user. We provide sticker, income-based net pricing, and the average net. Oftentimes the user has a number from the school, from their award letter. They can input that here and we'll use that. And this data is from the National Center for Education Statistics. First time ever, they are actually looking at what 4 years at Baylor is going to cost them because it increases year over year. And the next step is to personalize this pricing and factor in savings and income and cash and credit. So we're going to use $26,000, which is unfortunately the average savings in a 529 in the US. We ask the user, can they contribute cash from their income because this reduces borrowing amounts, and those kids are expensive in high school, spend a little of that money here. And then we ask credit, self-reported bands, which help determine what products and pricing users will see for financing. And then in an instant, we are into their planning stages. They can look at various different packages, some with pretty significant price differences. This is the first big victory for the family here. We'll dig in and look at an option. And here the user can see all 4 years laid out, their cash and savings applied, the funding they need, how they're going to do that funding, and then in a really cool way, what that might require in school, but most importantly, what that will require after graduation. So in 1 minute, basically they can see everything they need to know about 4 years of paying for college. And I did want to just show a logged in scenario. I can now compare multiple colleges and their funding options in one place. Thanks. Have a great day. Okay, I'll just continue on because I know we're getting up on time. So the economic landscape right now, the pandemic landscape, this is bringing this to a forefront. This is college value, college turmoil, am I going to campus, not? These are all things that are going to really make college financial planning a real difficult and challenging issue, even more than it was. And there's a lot of press out there about banks being called on to step up. Oops. And there's my warning, sorry. And just to note that we've been in market for the last year. We've had 5,000 test users. We've got partnerships. Mass Mutual is an investor, and we've been recognized by Mass Challenge, another INV FinTech, several other entities. And and we're here trying to get exposure, and we're looking for partners. So please reach out and get me directly or get us via our partner connection on our website. Thank you. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick. Well, I'd like to just, again, ask people who are viewing to please post your questions in the comments or in the chat feed if you're on YouTube. And as we wait for some questions, what can you tell us about how your business has changed with this new environment we're in with COVID and a lot of controversy about students going to school?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is really a content angle. So we actually did a big survey right at the beginning of the pandemic, asking families if they were going to defer, make change because of the economy, which at that moment in time, 529s had gotten banged up pretty bad. And at that moment, back in late March, 26% of folks said that they were rethinking their choice. And we shared that on our networks and literally drove our traffic up on the direct site 8x in a matter of weeks. And so, these concerns are adjustable with content. We'll also work that into the platform to have solutions that address things like room and board not being applicable. But number one, it's really, it's creating this sort of feeling of relief and that there is a pathway. And certainly for lower income families, it's that ability to see, when we do that income-based pricing, and you can see that, BU could be, $18,000 a year based on your income. And for a lot of folks, they never see that opportunity to know that that's within reach. So this just raises the bar on what we think folks are looking for. And, if you're not the top 1% or the top 10% or the 15% that can maybe potentially write a check, this thing is weighing on you heavily, right? Especially right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what can you tell us about how your team is working to grow your business today?
Yeah, well, we're in two accelerators at the same time, so we're getting lots of attention. We built a business called Simple Tuition before in Boston that was in the loan comparison space. So we do have a little bit of gray hair here working in our favor in terms of understanding the landscape. And Colleen, my co-founder, really understands the issues. She's been a financial aid expert for years, and we're just really trying to take what we know about finance and financial aid and bring that to the regular person. And doing that one by one is great, but it's challenging to scale. So seeking partnerships, seeking folks who already are a trusted resource, but who lack in this specific area is really what we're going after. And I think in good times it might not be a top of mind issue, but in challenging times, I think it increasingly rises to the top. So we're just getting out there now and starting to talk to a lot more potential partners.
Okay, super. Well, I think we're running out of time. So as we wrap up, any final comments or reminders about what you're seeking?
No, we're okay on funding for right now. I think we'll come back around for that soon, thanks to MassMutual and a few others. But we're really looking for contacts and introductions, and we're glad to be part of the community now. We'll definitely stay in the loop. And to the extent that this resonates with anybody, and again, this could be an employer too. It doesn't have to be a bank or FI to necessarily gain the benefits here. So if someone believes that this will help their personnel and their employees or their community, just let us know, and we'll find a way to make it work.
Okay, Patrick. Well, awesome. Thanks again for presenting, and we look forward to Quattro Money's evolution.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, give me just a second here to transition. And please welcome NewPhy.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. My name is John Calabrese. I'm excited to introduce and talk a little bit more about NewPhy, a little bit about my background. First, I've been pretty active in the Boston blockchain and FinTech community. Actually been involved in product management for a really long time. And my background is really in finance. I'm a chartered financial analyst as well as a financial risk manager. But my passion is cryptocurrency and understanding the deep nuances of the offerings which are really difficult to understand. And what we've actually done, myself and my co-founder, Boomer Rogers, who couldn't make it, we built this product actually out of ETH Boston, which was a hackathon last year. And that hackathon, we came up with this idea. We were like, it's really difficult to understand these products, and we want to help the market really and guide them in a safe way. So I'm going to be talking you through that. We'll do a demo. Just wanted to go through my background a bit first. So again, NewPhy, our goal is to really show people how to use money wisely. And money these days, we want to expand the horizon to just not be what you traditionally think of, which is cash and maybe investments, but really money is now changed, and there are things like crypto and decentralized finance, which we'll talk about a little bit more. So first, our target is the crypto curious and the crypto nervous. And these are folks that are just normal, and Chuck and I talked about this. These are mere mortals, right? Majority of people are just uncomfortable and afraid of digital assets. And I'm going to use the term digital assets a lot because I think crypto has a negative connotation, but they're synonymous, right? These are assets. These are things that are valuable and hold value, and they're actually becoming more valuable. And a mass majority of people just don't own these crypto, the digital assets. And these are technologically, capable individuals, and they just don't think that there's any practical benefit and wouldn't know where to begin and where to start. And again, these are regular individuals. They think the reasons why they shouldn't own crypto are there's no use, it's too risky, it's too difficult, or it's a scam. But there's really a disconnect between that the perception, which there's no use, there's too risky, or that it's too risky, and then the real value that crypto offers in decentralized finance. And that's where NewPhy comes in. We don't think that that's true, and we think there's an education gap for those individuals that are just regular individuals and just don't understand it. So what is NewPhy? We are digital financial advice, but for the new age, for 2.0. And we offer education, recommendation, execution, and tracking services across traditional and digital asset investments. So if you've ever gone to a financial advisor, they're going to have you fill out a risk tolerance questionnaire. And they're going to put together a suggested allocation for you based on how you fill out that RTQ, they call it. And that's going to be a portfolio comprised of stocks, bonds, cash, and potentially other things that the financial advisor might be aware of or hopefully not compensated on, but potentially that as well. But they try to find a portfolio that's right for you. But the problem is that they're really missing a whole universe of assets, the digital asset space, like stable coins, main coins, and decentralized financial vehicles. So we feel at NewPhy there is now a compelling argument for why regular individuals should own perfectly safe assets in their portfolio that are generating sometimes 10 over. There are a few that offer like 50% APY, and those are compelling. And there's some safety and security concerns in investing in those, but we think we can advise people and tell them exactly what the risks are that are incorporated with certain protocols. And of course, main coins are like Bitcoin or Ethereum. We want to make sure that people understand the volatility risks, but also the protocol risks in those. But they should have some exposure, and it's all really based on your individual circumstances. And that's really the important part. So we want to personalize this, but also offer education around why you would go into a certain vehicle and what that might look like for your portfolio. So the current features, which I will demo, we offer a risk tolerance questionnaire. Like I mentioned, this is using a modern portfolio, including decentralized finance. We aggregate all of that stuff together and make it really simple for you to understand where your position is today. What are you doing? So one view of your financial worth, that includes your fiat bank accounts, traditional savings accounts, and investment accounts. your crypto wallets, the custodians, and all your lending activities. If you're familiar with some of them, like Compound or I guess Maker also used to lend, but these are ones that you need to have a sense of what your current lending activities are and what you're returning on those activities. So we put all of that together. And then your liabilities. Most people don't realize that you can borrow crypto at 0% from Maker. But we want to put that together, which is a really, these are, by the way, they would be collateralized borrowings. But we want to put that borrowing together with your traditional lending facilities like loans and credit cards and really get a good sense of where are your liabilities. And we show your performance across those classes. So making sure we show you what your fiat balances are doing, what your crypto balances are doing on both sides of the spectrum. So now we'll go into a bit of the demo, and I'll show you exactly what NewPhy has to offer. So if you come into the platform as a brand new user, you first will come into this and you see that you have 0 assets, right? That's probably not true because you need to add accounts, right? And you can either add wallets. So this would be like Ethereum wallets or likely Ethereum. That's what we're targeting right now. And you would add those individual, whatever those addresses are, and then you would add them to your portfolio. Or you can add a fiat account, which, as we all know, Plaid is a great aggregator and gives us that data that we need to put together your portfolio. So that would be the adding account process, but we also go through the assessment process where we say, okay, you individual, tell us some answers to these questions so that we can target the right portfolio for you, right? So when it comes to investing in stocks, how experienced are you? Are you experienced in crypto? Do you adopt tech quickly? Are your income sources stable? All these things that really should factor into your allocation. We do that for you and then come up with, here's a portfolio that potentially would work for you. Now, big caveat, there's a disclaimer, no portfolio is perfect, and this is just a suggestion for you, but we offer the ability for you to say, okay, because my income source is unstable, meme coins are probably not a good idea for you, but you still have some exposure to that. And you should really be focused on bonds here, or ETFs, and this bonds or cash or ETFs in this particular example. So again, that gives you the starting point. This is your portfolio that you should be trying to get to. How do you execute that? Well, that's where we get into the dashboard. And again, once you add your accounts, you'll be put into this view, which is now I've put everything together. I have, crypto that's potentially my wallets, my bank accounts, and my investment accounts all in one place, and I could see that in one simple view. And we make it really straightforward in that everything is USD based. So when you look at your dashboard, we're stripping away the price that Ethereum's at or your tokens are at right now, so that you really see it on a given day. Now, crypto hasn't done great today, so that's obviously why it's down a lot. But you can also see your performance from a 7-day or a 30-day perspective, and those are representing the different time intervals. So again, you have your assessment, which tells you here's where you should be, and then you have your dashboard that tells you where you are, and you could try to execute to get to that proper portfolio. Or again, it's based on the assessment, what we feel that you should be in. So using all of this, we're
running out of time, so I just want to ask if you could try to wrap up so we can take a couple of questions.
Perfect. That's all I needed to do. So we are all set.
Perfect.
We can take questions now at this point.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I will kick it off. If anyone has questions, please, again, comment or put it in the chat. But John, what can you tell us about your pricing and your revenue model?
Yeah. So we're free for the dashboard and all of the digital services that you were just looking at. And we really are, we're really new. So we'd like to get feedback, and we're willing to, if you go to our website and contact us. We would love to get you on the platform, and we'd love feedback on it when you join up. And then, we're offering advice down the road at a cost, similar to the personal capital model. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but that's very similar to what we're trying to track towards.
Oh, okay. Well, people are very concerned about security and their personal information and all of that sort of stuff. So does NewPhy actually hold any of our private information? And, what do you do for security?
Yeah, it's a great question, and obviously that's the beauty of blockchain is it's really cryptographically secure. We actually don't hold any of your private keys. We don't even have all of your information is encrypted based on your key itself. So we don't see anything. We will never do that. We will never custody assets. So it's really we were just trying to be an advice and a guidance platform. Our stack is, I think someone asked a question, so I'll just grab it.
Please do, yeah.
All right, excellent. So it's a Ruby stack. Python is the back end.
Okay. And
I'm not the engineer on it, so that's as far as I'm going to go. But if you have any more questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, I don't see any more coming yet, but what can you tell us about the portfolios? How is my portfolio updated and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we update those portfolios on a daily basis. All of that DeFi that I was talking about, so we actually hook into the Maker protocols. We hook into any of the protocols like YAM. I'm not sure if you've heard of that one before, there's liquidity providers. We actually can see some of that information that you're investing in, and we pull all of that together. But that's done on a daily basis. So we still are looking at, cash balances as of that point. But we're potentially going more than daily at a certain point. But I think that's really, we have this financial advisor hat where should you be telling people about their portfolios every day, we could go real time. You're right, for definitely some of the blockchain aspects. But we want to make sure that people aren't also overly looking at this, right? Like that's why we have a 1 day, 7 day, and a 30-day view. You should really be thinking about this more long term.
Okay, super, great. Well, forward to exploring NewPhy. As we wrap up, could you just tell us exactly what we could do to support you these days?
Yeah. So again, we're really early stage. We are looking for networking and looking for connections here. If anyone enjoyed the presentation or would like to hear more, definitely reach out. Again, my contact information is on the website, but also I can be happy to share that. And you could probably find me, but we just are trying to network here and get the word out. We're really trying to get feedback right now in the early stages.
Awesome, John. Well, thanks again, and we look forward to more from NewPhy.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Okay, cheers. Give me just a moment to transition to our next presenter. And please welcome BizWallet. Hi, Ravi. Oh, we can't hear you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. How's everyone doing here in the COVID? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
I'm going to show Chris. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Looks
Hello?
good.
Looks good? Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Ravi. I'm here to kind of show you a cool, unique financial mobile app called BizWallet. And this is for small and micro businesses, so you can accept payments on your smartphones and iPads and tablets. On both sides of the screen, I have shown you two different things. One is the BizWallet app for the client, and then the other one on the right side is the one for the vendor. So the basic idea here is your phone is your point of sale device. And you can accept credit cards like you scan checks for bank deposit. So it's a pretty cool and easy way to do things, and it's available both in English and Spanish version. So the main thing is like, is BizWallet? What can it do for you, and how you can use it? Well, nowadays, more and more people use charge cards than cash, and merchants want to accept payments. And the basic idea here is it's easy to use because you can download this app and register on your own phone. And the same thing the merchant can do. They can also register on their mobile phone. And the cards that you store, the credit cards that you store, are digitally encrypted QR code on your own phone. It's pretty highly secure. That credit card details is not given to anyone. On the other hand, the merchant who scans the card, the QR code, they cannot see the end user card details. It's pretty cost effective for the merchant because it's same charges like what the bank charges for the merchants. And you can also get weekly and bi-weekly deposits into your account for the merchant based upon your purchases and things like that. The end user, on the other hand, whenever a transaction it goes through, they get a text message instantly. Okay, so that's why. And what is BizWallet, right? I mean, it's really a financial payment app for you, so that you don't have any external devices attached to your phone. Like for instance, you want to use like Square or something else, or even your phone, which is like a NFC type of a thing, near frequency. All those things are not necessary. All you need is a smartphone, whether it's an Android or iOS, it doesn't matter. You can just do that right on the phone. You can scan the charge cards and read the QR codes. It's very easy because two ways you can store the card for the end user. You can scan the card, or you can manually enter the card details and store it on your phone. On the other hand, for the merchant, they can scan or they can scan the QR code from the customer's phone, or they can enter the customer's card details directly. Merchants can also set up multiple point of sale profiles for their own employees. Like for example, so you have a cleaning company and you send your staff to go and clean, and they want to accept payments. They can use their own phone and accept payments right from their mobile phone, which is controlled by you for your bank app, and everything goes directly into your bank account, the amount. We use kind of like multi-factor authentication, meaning it's end user safety. Whenever a purchase is made for that credit card, it requests a zip code verification. And then once the zip code is put in, and then after the processing is starting, it will send you an OTP for authorization of the purchase. And then the customer enters into the merchant's phone the OTP, and the purchase goes through. You can also get instant daily transactions on your mobile. You don't need to go to a website or anything. It's right on your phone. And you can also get a statement right on the phone, like a mini report. So how are you using it? It's a very simple and easy way to use it, whether you are an end user downloading the app or whether you are a merchant. You just register with your phone number, password, and there you go. You start using the app and start accepting this. Basically, your phone is your point of sale device. You don't need to even carry your credit cards if you're an end user, because your credit card is actually digitally encrypted and stored on your own phone. Nobody can even see it. Even with the app, you have to log in to see it. So it's a very easy thing to store. It's a very easy thing to use. And, all the transactions are encrypted during purchase, whether it's at rest or during transit. Is secure, and the merchants who register on the phone, their bank accounts, they receive payments directly to their bank account deposits, and goes into them. Or if you don't have a bank account, if you're a small micro business, if you have your address registered on the phone, you get a check in the mail. So that's I'm going to give you this app is also currently multi-currency app, so it's also accept US dollars as well as in Indian rupees. The other thing I want to show is I want to show you a quick demo of this app. So I'm going to share again here. Can you see the app, everyone?
Yes, so we have it up on the screen now.
You had it up on the screen? Great, yeah. So, so this is what the app is. So this is your login, and you register, or you are a new user, and then you go into registration and fill in your details for your business details. I'm showing only the vendor app. You have different business categories like, entertainment, services, business category, retail, and things like that. And you fill in your addresses for you, where you are located and things like that. If you don't have a bank account, that's fine. If you do have a bank account, then add your bank information like your account number, ABA, routing number, name, and things like that. Once you're done, then you log in. You log in into the app, and then you have 4 ways of sharing or scanning the cards. Like, you can scan the card, or you can, do the code scanning by using the QR code, or you can view the transactions, or you can even update the bank details. So this kind of goes to the next. Here's where, you can change your bank account if you want. Here's your profile, which gives you a merchant name, your mobile number, your email ID, everything in there. This is how it is, very straightforward and easy, because the app phone scans your credit card directly. It's like a check deposit, like you do your bank checks on your mobile phone. Same concept here. Okay, or if the customer has the end user app, and if they store their card, you have the credit card QR code, and this is the CVV view. So you enter the information about your CVV view. This is your zip code verification. You enter your zip code for the bank credit card. This is the product. The merchant enters his product name and their sales tax and everything, and then an OTP is sent to the merchant, from the merchant to the customer. And once they enter it, it processes it right there on the spot, and processing is complete, and then you get a success. So it's straightforward. It's easy to use. The merchant now has, finished a transaction, and this is the transaction view. They can see the current transaction, what they did right now for today, the product and all the information. Or, if they want to go and look at a mini statement, they can give a date range, and they can look at the whole thing. So it's pretty easy and straightforward. And once you're done, you can log out. We have the same thing in the Spanish version. So it goes through the same BizWallet process. Everything is in Spanish now. If you are a Spanish-speaking person and you want to accept credit cards, charge cards on your phone, you can do it. It's the same thing like that.
Hey, Ravi, let's wrap up to take a couple of questions.
So thank you very much. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Super. Thank you. Well, let me kick it off again and ask you about the fees and your revenue model.
Okay, the fees for this is very simple. It's the downloading the app for the end user as well as the merchant is free. There's no charge to it. So for the end user, there's no charge at all. It's completely free. For the merchant, there's a 2.75 to 3% merchant charge, like your bank charges you for your credit card. That's the only charge you have. You have a free app. You can use it. You can register it. That 3% or 2.75%. Depends upon the volume you do every week or every month. Cut a check, or your bank account gets a direct deposit for the payments. It's like a marketplace app where you get your payments.
Okay, Robbie. So do you get a percentage of that fee that gets charged?
Yes, out of the 2.75 to 3%, and we work out a deal with the bank that we have, and we get a small slice out of that to keep our thing going. Yeah.
We did have a question here.
Yes. Well, we actually, Venmo is not a competitor for us because we can use Venmo to transfer money for the merchant to deposit it, because Venmo doesn't have the external we don't have any external device attachments to scan the credit card. So you can use your own phone and scan your credit card or scan someone else's charge card and then accept payments. So it's very simple and straightforward.
Okay, super. And Ravi, where are you getting the most traction, or which markets do you think will give you the most business?
So we are targeting mainly the small and micro businesses who kind of like act on their own, like a small business, like they don't go to a bank and start getting a terminal ID, a transaction terminal, all that stuff. Everything is gone. Your point of sale is your own phone. You just have it in your pocket. Wherever you go, you can use it and, ask people to, they want to purchase something, your services, right then and there, or in a flea market or something, you can do it there. Anywhere, even restaurants can accept that, pizza delivery, when people go there, and say, oh, I want to give payment. Oh, I don't have cash. Okay, here, you have a charge card? Yeah. I can do it here. So
super.
It's cool.
And what's the advantage to using your services versus others? What's kind of unique about BizWallet?
Yes, that's the main thing about this devices attached to this. Your phone is your point of sale. I haven't seen anyone using phone as the point of sale device for accepting payments. This is a kind of a groundbreaking, unique, cool app that we built, and we have launched it in India, and we are launching it here in US, and it's available both in Android and Apple Store. Right now, it's in the beta testing stage, but in a couple of weeks, it'll be fully available in production mode.
Okay, awesome. Well, other than businesses that would be interested in your service itself, what else can the community help you with?
Well, definitely, people, we are looking for partnership with big merchants, or even any merchant, like pizza parlor or plumbing, Joe the plumber, whoever wants it, talk to us. Go to bizwallet.us website. It's got every detail about it, or send an email to us, support@greater-boston.com. We are here to help you and work with you and grow with you.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much, Ravi, for spending time with us today, and we wish you all the best with BizWallet.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks everyone for attending this, and much appreciated.
Sure. Take care.
Yep.
Now, give us just a moment to transition. And please welcome Elfy.
Thanks, Chris.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Will. I'm the co-founder and head of architecture at Elfy, and we are streamlining the mortgage lifecycle from origination to securitization. So let's get started. To set the stage, this is Blythe. She needs to process 20 loans, so she follows a 300-item checklist to avoid making mistakes. Mistakes made after 2008 are expensive, so she spends 4 hours manually entering and checking data using her software. She finds several mistakes on 5 loans, so she needs to place holds on those applications until those issues are resolved. She starts to wonder, why does the process of buying a $400,000 house take more than a month? And so, why does it take so long to originate a mortgage? The problem lies with the technology. The mortgage industry is burdened with old systems and complex processes. The digital age has evolved faster than banks have been able to keep up with, and customers' expectations have dramatically increased. There's a lot of manual efforts that consist of paper-based checklists and offline communications, and ultimately these leads to slow processes that results in direct financial and opportunity costs. This is one of the primary reasons why it takes an average time of 45 days just to take out a mortgage. Since 2008, innovation within the industry has stagnated due to the increasing level of regulation. Making mistakes in a mortgage application is expensive and risky for lenders. Compliance has made it difficult for innovation to thrive within the industry and difficult for lenders to be able to provide a good customer experience for borrowers. Even now, given the pandemic, closing a loan using legacy software has made it much more difficult for lenders to close a loan remotely from the comforts of their home. Low federal interest rates have increased demand on mortgage origination, which has made it difficult for legacy softwares to support such a large increase in mortgage origination. And so how do we solve this problem? Elfy solves this by using cutting-edge technology to build a mortgage loan origination system as the core component of our solutions for streamlining the mortgage origination process. We know that every lender's origination process is unique, and so legacy software does not have the capabilities to adapt to the complex processes of a lender. There is no one-size-fits-all solution within the industry, and so we built the software with one idea in mind. The software should serve the user as opposed to the user serving the software. Because of the complexity of mortgage processes, we built the software to be modular, to be customizable, and to fit the operations of the lender. Our cloud-native platform gives lenders convenient next-generation origination system, augmented by seamless document uploads and real-time collaboration. We provide the ability for users to work from the comfort of their homes. And so in doing so, Elfy provides value to lenders in 4 ways. Number 1, reducing costs with automation and process improvements, because automation means that there's less work involved. Number 2, increasing revenue by driving the customer experience, which means that borrowers finish the origination process with the help of the software, or obtain help directly from the loan officer using a real-time interface. Number 3, improving the lender's decision-making with real-time and predictive analytics, which uses machine learning as well, which allows executives to obtain important metrics that they need in order to improve their lending operations. And number 4, reducing risk with built-in audit trails and compliance tools, which helps lenders maintain a record of actions occurred throughout the mortgage application process and helps them comply with regulations and prevents expensive mistakes from occurring. And so, where are we now? Our product is live. As you can see, these are a few screenshots of our product. Our lender, we do have a first customer with 30 end users who originate mortgages every day from the comfort of their homes all over the US. We are expecting to close a deal with a few more lenders by the end of this year. And so, to conclude, we are Elfy, and we're streamlining the mortgage lifecycle, and I'm more than happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, William. Well, let me kick it off and ask you what direction you're going in now as far as your evolution and what you're expanding into next.
Yes, so one of our primary focus is predictive analytics. We want to make sure that from the data that we collect, that we're able to provide useful information for lenders to be able to make better decisions. And because the mortgage origination process includes of many thousands of different data points, a lot of them are useful to the lender, although a lot of them don't necessarily know how to best use the data. And so that's where the machine learning aspect comes in, where we're using the data in order to help answer important questions for lenders. So that's one of the more important things that we're focusing on at the moment.
Okay, super. And how's your team doing? And are you looking to expand your team yet? And also, are you looking for funding or anything like that?
Yes, so we are currently fundraising a seed round. We do have a live product. We're currently in sales and marketing mode. So we are actively looking for lenders to help join the platform. Right now, we are fully live in the hard money lending space. And so one of our transitions is to enter the residential market, where people are able to, and a lot of these things, there's a lot of compliance that comes into play, especially because of the regulations that occurred in 2008 and things like that. And so the things that we're focusing on now is both adding better features, so using user feedback in order to continue improving the product, and then using the knowledge that we've gained over the years of studying this space and also studying a lot of the different cutting edge tools. So then that way we can learn how to better provide value to the lender. Oh, and we currently are not hiring, but we will hire once we finish closing our round.
Oh, okay. And how much funding are you looking for? Is there a target?
Yes, 2 million.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very good. Well, if anyone is interested in investing, please contact William. I don't see any more questions in here, but why don't I ask just one more? Everyone always loves to know how you're getting traction, how you're marketing your company and getting business.
Yeah, so we primarily use LinkedIn, at least within the mortgage industry. A lot of it is very much connection based. And so while the pandemic has made it difficult for conferences to go live, we are taking opportunity of the fact that there are an increase in virtual conferences. And so we do use different events such as this one, BNT, in order so that way we can help promote the product and the company, and also to help answer any questions that people have. But for the most part, we primarily use LinkedIn. We don't have a company Twitter account or a Facebook, mostly because a lot of the work that we do tends to be B2B, and most of our customers tend to use LinkedIn as the main social media or platform.
Okay, sure. Makes sense. And I think someone asked where to find you guys, but I will just let people know you can learn about them at newphy.io. And all of these startups actually are posted on the event listing on Eventbrite if you'd like to learn more about them and contact them. And with that, just any final comments here, William, before we wrap up?
Yes, stay safe. It's still the pandemic. It's always good to make sure that you're healthy, that you get the support and the help that you need, and to continue innovating, because a lot of what occurs right now during the pandemic is very ripe for innovation. There's a lot of different issues that have occurred that have never appeared before, and it's a really good opportunity to try building solutions that can solve a lot of the current issues that we have ongoing today.
Awesome. Well, thanks, William. We wish you the best of luck with Elfy. Look forward to more. And thank you for those thoughts as well. I totally agree. And I hope we can inspire people to launch ventures and innovate. So we'll see you again soon. And thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes our last presentation, but I'd just like to wrap up with a few remarks. So I encourage everyone to follow up by joining our BNT 115 event on LinkedIn, where you can learn more about and connect with the speakers and other attendees. And if you're hiring, seeking funding, or other help, please post something there. People will see it. And we emailed you the link, but we'll post it again in the comments in just a moment, so you'll see that. And as far as our next events, we actually have a DevOps Success Series with our next seminar under that series tomorrow at 2 p.m. And the topic is how top CISOs, or Chief Information Security Officers, implement proactive and continuous security with DevSecOps. So we hope to see you there. It's on BNT's website. And we also have another startup showcase next month, as we always do. And this will be a clean tech, green tech, and energy startup showcase on September 16th. It's actually not posted yet, but keep an eye out for our newsletter this week, and you'll have the link to sign up for that. And again, it's free for founders to sign up to present. So please tell anyone in this space from New England that we have this event going on. And since we can't hear claps, let's just wrap this up with a bunch of likes on these posts, share any encouraging comments. And I just thank all of these amazing leaders and experts, and I thank everyone for coming. And we hope to see you again soon. Take care now.